Christian Jack alongside Maxime Crepeau in Orlando, Florida, ahead of a third game in Copa America. So far, so good for you. 3 points second in the group. We'll get to your individual performances shortly, Max. But how's the group feeling ahead of the third game?
No, everybody's in good spirit. It's a good feeling to have a win. Obviously, because we've been putting a lot of work and effort, and then having 3 points is the cherry on the cake. The cherry on top of it is the reward after the effort. And so we did recover well, and this morning we trained for our preparation, and then tomorrow will be the last little touch-ups, and after that it's all in again, and got to put all our efforts in the same place for 90 plus, and our objective is to win again.
You had a front row seat to a victory in Kansas City. What did you see in front of you from the team?
Yeah, I mean, we had some moments that it was more difficult, but we had some great moments as well that we executed what we wanted to do. And it was a 1-0 win, but I believe we could have put 2, 3, even 4. But that's part of the process, you cannot have everything right away. It takes a bit of time, and everybody understands more and more what needs to be done at certain areas on the field, defensively and offensively. So everything is piecing up together slowly, and so we feel good internally.
74th minute clicks in, it's 0-0. They have a throw, which, by the way, should have been a Canada throw. We got given the wrong way. They have a throw, you're getting ready to defend on your box.
Ball don't lie.
Ball doesn't lie. And then 10 seconds later, the ball is in the opposite net. Tell us from your viewpoint what you saw.
Yeah, I mean, there's a clearance of a header, and then Kyle did a little bump that gains an advantage, and then after that we got Schaff going, Joe going right away, and then we know we were very good and powerful when it comes to attack deep behind their lines, and so this is where we came alive a couple times in the previous years, and we came alive again 2 days ago. Yeah.
It doesn't get much better though, does it, than having Jonathan David in those one-on-one situations? One of the most prolific strikers in world football when it comes to those.
Yeah. Obviously, when Johnny's 1-on-1v1, he's very, 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 very good, world class. A lot of experience in those moments. Knows how to find those small spaces.
Let's get into your Copa America so far, because obviously you've garnered headlines for positive reasons. You've been absolutely brilliant so far. How happy have you been so far with your own performances, and how good does it feel?
Oh, but I know that playing quality teams like these, like South American teams, like in the past, I believe previously we only played Uruguay in the last 2 or 3 years of South American football, and so it's a style of play that they have so much passion. They throw a lot of bodies forward. They invest a lot in their attacks, and so as a goalkeeper, actions are coming, especially when you play Argentina and you play Peru, Chile next. There's moments in the game that we might bend but not break, and we use that terminology in the last game, where we had some moments that we were deep in our half, but there's moments that when we win the ball, we breathe a lot, and so those moments that I'm called upon of, well, I'm just staying ready and being mentally prepared for these moments.
It must feel good though, Max, no? Because obviously you and I have had many conversations over the years. Ultimately, there can only be one goalkeeper on the pitch, no matter how good you've been, and you've kind of waited for these moments. No, I mean, Gold Cup 2021, it became your net. You had that window of 3 games 4, 5, and 6 for World Cup qualifiers without Milan, and that became your net. But it hasn't really been a long process in terms of having that consistency. So it must feel good to be able to do this in the big stage.
Yeah, I mean, like you just said, I had my glimpse here and there, and having this moment, the last 3 games of the team, and being together for now a month, I'm enjoying my football as well, because as we've talked in the past too, like having that injury, missing on the World Cup, being on the side. International football, you don't know when it's coming again. That it comes and goes. You don't know when's the next time you're gonna get the call, and so. There's the fact of enjoying the football, getting the result for the country, but mostly in the back of my mind, I'm having fun. I'm enjoying my football.
You mentioned the injury, obviously in an enormous stage, MLS Cup. I don't want to go over it, but I bring it up because how you injured your leg coming out, you did a lot of that against Argentina. Do you remember any barriers mentally that you had to get over, like the first time you were able to get out there? Do you remember the first time in the game you had to go out there and do it? Was it clearly in your mind at that point?
Yeah, the first game I came back was with the second team, LAFC 2 against Tacoma, Seattle 2.
Okay.
And I had 2-3 challenges like this, and I didn't even think 1 second. You know, that moment was gone. And one of the first contact I have a big contact with a striker who was pressing me, and we got a contact. We both hit one another. Didn't feel anything. I was like, all right, I'm good to go. So that barrier was gone since the first game back.
The mentality of a top-class athlete, I love it. What's this squad been like in a tournament? Obviously, you were unfortunately missing in Qatar because of the aforementioned injury, but tournament football just feels different, doesn't it, Max? I know there's a lot of travel, but it feels big, and it's almost a great preparation, no, for 2026?
Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, Copa America has been the whole picture, you know, the whole image on traveling, stadium, venues. It's been great, and yes, there's a short vision of winning every game and going all the way, and there's a long vision of prepping 26 and have a bit of a feeling of that prep, you know, it's part of it. And so far it's been great. It's been great, and everybody's been enjoying it. Everybody sensed that as well, and the fact that it gets the attention worldwide as well. I think it's amazing to have the Euros and Copa at the same time, you know. Yeah,
and you mentioned it earlier, getting to play different kind of opposition. It's not just different kind of opposition from a different place in the world, but the style in which they play is also going to help you surely going forward.
Yeah, obviously when you see diverse systems of play, diverse cultures, diverse nations, styles as well. Yes, I mean you have to prepare for everything, you know. And when that draw comes up in 2 years, we haven't seen an African team in a long time. I don't know when was the last time.
Right.
European, we had the chance and the pleasure to play Holland and France, and now the South American. So it prepares you for any eventualities.
Yeah, and you now know what it's like to have about 65,000 Argentine fans in the crowd.
Yeah. We know what's to play away, but now we know what's to play a world champion away as well.
Yeah, and that moment, by the way, Di Maria, the one-on-one, like watching it back, you're almost on the halfway line, no? When you have the ball and you have to sprint
back, sprinting back. Yes.
So you sprint back to go forward.
Yes,
you know?
Yeah, that was the moment, because obviously it kind of when and where it broke, that play on a counter of I believe it was a corner kick.
Yeah.
I'm high on that moment, and so it's sprint back, cover your net, and then assess what's going on in front of you and go again in front.
Yeah. Well, it was a massive sigh of relief for all Canadians. So that was a fantastic job. So we moved to Chile. We moved to Saturday night. Obviously, we expect it to be a boisterous atmosphere and a great crowd in there. But the self-confidence, Maxime, in terms of every time I talk to you players here on and off the camera, is really real, isn't it? Like the belief that this team has it's a real refreshing thing to see, and it's really authentic.
Yeah, as you mentioned, I think what we had as a nation, we haven't played Holland, France, Argentina.
Right.
We haven't played that caliber in a long time, except for Qatar. You know what I mean? So it's good to have the feeling and the sensation that we belong. Now it's small version of details, attention to details that makes the difference. In 18-yard boxes, if you concede half a chance, it's a goal at that level.
Yep.
And if you don't put it away, you'll be in trouble later on in the game. And so it's amazing to have these sensations, and that our team, our group, you know, we know that we belong to that football. It's just now having that young faces of Canadian group, you know, nobody really knows us in the world.
Right.
We know we're hard fighters, we know we're hard workers, and that it's not going to be easy to play us.
Yeah.
But I think it's amazing for us as well to say, hey, we can play these nations. Now it's just paying attention to small details and getting victories, you know, and that's why the Peru victory was good for us, because in that whole couple years, and then the whole month that we've been together with Jesse now, the reward was that victory, you know.
Right. How's it been for you, last couple for you? we know Canada loves their goalies, usually because of hockey, no?
Yeah.
But it seems like you garnered a lot of headlines, you got a lot of deserved press. Like, if you noticed this, is it just strictly focused on tournament? Like, how's it been for you and your family?
I mean, for me, it's strictly focused on the task in hand, which is the next game.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of messages, and the family is very proud. Family, friends, a lot of love, obviously. But for me, it doesn't change anything on my preparation. How do I train? How do I recover? How do I approach the next game? And so it's very narrow as a vision of like what's next. It's next game.
Listen, mate, you're one of the most genuine, best guys I've ever interviewed. I couldn't be happier for you. I know Canada says it the same as well. Keep going, get that win on Saturday, and we wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.